Podcast 14. Sergio, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Sam. You know why?
Is it because we're at AdSemble's open display launch party?
It is. We are live in Almaden Valley. We got our guest, Matthew Oliveri, CEO of AdSemble. Matthew, where are you at?
Really? Matthew Olivieri.
I
I'm
said
right
Oliveri.
here. There's an extra
Right
I
here.
in it.
We got an
covered
extra
that
I.
with the tech
Covered
crunchies.
that.
Yeah.
We did cover that.
Crunchies. Tech
And-
crunch.
Known you for how long?
I know, right? So, no, Matthew, come here. Where are you going? You're
All
walking
right,
away.
I'm right here.
Come here. So, explain your office, because you're deep nestled in Almaden Valley, which is, I love it out here. Kind of grew up out here in San Jose, South San Jose. It's relevant because right now we have Mount Amahanam, that big box on the hill that you see in Almaden Valley.
I believe it's pronounced Amanam.
Amanam. It's a what is that?
Indian.
Native?
I have
Native
no idea. I
American
didn't even know about that.
So my point of bringing that up is because it was just announced they're gonna open. It's been closed for 59 years. It's an Air Force station. They took it over in 1958. They're opening it up to the public in later this year, and I think it's in October. They're opening it up to September 16th.
I did read that as well. But before we get to that, I want to comment that I'm excited to be back on the show. I am an original six.
Yes,
you
you are.
are.
Not
You're
only
the
an
first
original
guest.
six, I was the first ever guest on the show.
And you're also the second, or the first guest to
Returning guest.
return. Yes.
So I'm really excited to be here.
And there's one more first. You know what that is? There's a camera over there.
There is a
Wait for
camera.
the camera.
With a
So
Value BP
pop socket.
pop socket on
So
it.
yeah, we do have a
Get yours
pop
now
socket
at
that's
Value
holding it
BP.
up. Yeah, but so for those of you listening online and through the podcast, we might mention some things like, oh, you can see this or whatever. That's just because it's being filmed too, and that'll be on our
Very
YouTube
nice.
page. So another first.
Another first. So the story of our office is pretty unique. You know, we're right off the 85 expressway here.
Mhm.
It's a really great place for an office setting for a number of reasons. First of all, easy access, right? Who doesn't like to be able to just get up and get on a highway and get right to their work spot every morning, right?
That's
so
great.
Our team loves that. Also, we're situated in a shopping plaza type environment, so there's tons of eateries. There's access to yoga, dental, everything you need under the sun. So
Costco.
Our team is extremely happy to be able to come to work in a place where they can, at lunchtime, walk to these places, get easy access, and then as I mentioned, you know, get right back on the freeway and head home at the end of the day.
So for you guys that we got to talk about AdSemble's, so people who might not know, you do digital billboard advertising.
Yes, we do.
All over the country.
All over the world.
All over the world.
We're international, baby.
Nice.
Awesome. And you actually have a huge Almaden Plaza billboard right here.
Right, yeah. One of the reasons why our office is here is our software is actually powering a giant digital billboard display that is adjacent to the Highway 85 at Almaden Expressway exit. And so it's fitting that we're here and our software is powering that sign.
It's kind of a landmark. You guys have all seen it off of Highway 85 and then out near Oak Ridge Mall. There's a huge, a red billboard. It says Almaden Plaza, and you'll see rotating ads. Those are all from Matthew's company, AdSemble's. So, great. And we got to thank you also. You got us tickets to the Earthquakes game. That led to the Crazy George interview that we had last week.
Oh, goodness.
Awesome. He was actually, we were in your section, and he came to the section. We got it. We tapped him on the shoulder, asked him to be on the show. Next thing you know, he's on our show. This is a guy I looked up to growing up. And because of your tickets, we got these.
So should I get some royalties?
Oh, you can listen as many times as you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right. So
That's what it
thank you for that. And speaking of the earthquakes, they've introduced community days. I don't know if you know what that is, but they're going to go to different communities around San Jose, not just San Jose, but out in Los Gatos. I think they have Milpitas, and they're going to have these viewing parties. So that's something new for the earthquakes. It's great. Matthew's a big soccer fan.
Where's the next one then?
I think the first one's coming up in
Oh,
April. In April, Los Gatos.
Los Gatos.
Yep.
There we go.
Community Days, Earthquake Community Days. We had to give them a shout out because they've already been on our show. But speaking of soccer, Matthew, did you see that Cristiano Ronaldo bronze that they put up?
I actually just saw that on ESPN yesterday.
Oh
and
my gosh.
What the heck is that?
It's like Sloth from the Goonies.
Yeah.
So
Whoever designed that, shame on them.
listeners, look up the Ronaldo statue and Google it. It's hilarious.
Good laugh.
It's almost like a Larry David type scene, right?
Does he endorse something like that? Let me ask you guys that. If someone made a bronze statue of either one of yourselves and it was just hideous, Would you still feel proud that they took the time to do that, or
Yeah.
would you just discredit and be like, "That's not me. I don't acknowledge
No,
that
I'd
piece
own
of
it.
art"?
I told
You
him,
know?
any
Okay.
press is good press, right?
All right.
You know, right?
Yeah, but that's like his legacy.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because he's always been known as such a good-looking guy, and this statue looks like
So
slop.
where exactly is it?
I don't know where it's at, but
It's a bronze head.
Uh-huh.
I think it's just the head. Not
yeah,
the
it's
full
just like
body.
shoulder. Yeah, it's a bust.
A bust. There you go.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it is, but maybe maybe the artist was tired of Cristiano Ronaldo always getting praised for being so good looking. So
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'm
probably
just gonna
what it
paint
was.
this guy in the worst possible light
That's funny.
imaginable.
Nice.
And so yeah, look it up. It's pretty. That's.
Since we are on the topic of sports, we got to bring up because I know Matthew's a huge Oakland A's fan.
Let's go Oakland.
Yep. So they just introduced this new mural. Did you see that? The Stomper mural.
I heard about it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's amazing. It's put on by it's a Bay Area crew called the Luminaries,
Good.
and I think they did the Steph Curry mural as well. It's called Doves. It's on the corner of 19th and Webster in Oakland. Look up the Stomper mural. It's sick. It's amazing. I mean,
It's by the Steph Curry mural, or they replaced the Steph Curry? 'Cause
No,
I've seen
no.
the Steph
Same
Curry
artist,
one.
right?
same artist.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, different location, but same artist.
Got it. Okay.
And,
Definitely gonna check that out.
But yeah, I think since you're an A's fan, we had to bring that up. Also,
Huge A's fan.
do you think the Raiders moving out of Oakland, Sam, and you could chime in on this too, is that good for Oakland A's business?
That's what they say. You know, the big thing for me is I think it's interesting for the people that say they're Bay Area sports fans, kind of like you, right?
Yeah.
So you like the A's
Yeah.
and the Giants, right? So if you
Sergio likes
the-
whatever team is hot.
just hypothetically,
Hey, the
speaking,
Giants won.
But
Must have his
if
Giants
you're
hat.
primarily a Niners fan, but you promote or you like the Raiders too, if the Niners are doing bad and the Raiders go to the playoffs like this season, right? Now with the Raiders being in Vegas, can you still like the Raiders because they're a Bay Area team? Because they're no longer a Bay Area team. That's not acceptable. So will you still be a Raiders fan?
Are you talking to me here?
I'm talking to you.
So okay, I'm a Niner diehard. That's my team since
That
the
I
80s.
can actually vouch for.
Yes,
I
I've always been a Niner fan.
Yes.
But if the Niners are out and the Raiders are, I have a personal interest because I know a lot of friends who are Raider fans. I want to see them do good.
You know, if the Niners aren't making the playoffs and they have 2 wins that season, and the
Yeah.
Raiders are making the playoffs,
Yeah, you have something
hey,
kind of
Bay
local.
Area sports,
Yeah,
right?
it's Bay
You
Area,
know?
it's local, but
It's not the Seahawks. I mean, I'm not
No.
saying that or anything like that. I mean, it's a totally different conference, right?
Right,
Different
right.
league. So
So Raiders are gone. To answer your question, no, I will not be supporting the Raiders moving to Vegas. I will go to a Vegas Raider game though to watch the
totally.
Niners or watch even a random team because the stadium's pretty awesome actually.
yeah, it sounds. I was listening to Sirius XM with MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew, yesterday,
Yep.
and he was saying that probably won't be anywhere near the Strip, but the video showing it right next to the Strip. It's by like Trump Tower over there, and it's super close to the Strip. If they actually have it right by the Strip, that would be so cool. And imagine all the concerts and everything else they're going to do there. But either way, the stadium's exciting.
So to answer your original question about being good for the A's, I
Yeah.
think it will be good for the A's because I think the pressure is going to get cranked up now on the city of Oakland to get this A stadium done, lest they lose another team. The Warriors are going to San Francisco.
They only have one
Raiders are going to Vegas. All they got left is the Oakland A's now, and the Oakland A's have been patient. They deserve that new stadium. So let's get it done. Mayor Libby Schaaf.
I agree. Yeah. It would have been nice to see the A's in San Jose, but I'd rather them stay at least in the Bay Area.
There you go.
Definitely.
Cool. All right, so we're here because of AdSemble. You had a major product release, open display. Matthew, being a CEO of a company, how stressful was this build up? How many months did you plan, just to get this product out? And explain the product to our listeners, please.
Well, I've actually been on the beach for the last several weeks, just relaxing. No, I'm kidding. This has been a labor of love for the last company. I actually wrote a Facebook post about it this morning. I just was filled with emotion about today because it's actually been a 10-year journey to get to this point of discovery. And this is, as I wrote in my post, this is just something, a big, massive, complex puzzle that I just personally felt that I was meant to solve. And along that path, a lot of things got revealed to get us to this day. And about 12 months ago, a vision came to me for the actual product. It's called, or the website rather, it's called adsemble.com/open display, all one word. and it basically allows you to self-service buy billboard ads. One of our taglines that I collaborated with Sergio on is actually book a billboard at 3 a.m. in your pajamas. And so that's supposed to illustrate this concept that now for the first time ever in the entire world, you can sit there, use this platform that we created, that we developed, upload your message, choose a date range, put a budget in, and it works just like Google AdWords, Facebook ads, anything else that you can do self-service.
It's even easier than Google AdWords. I saw your Facebook post this morning, and in preparation for the product launch, I clicked in, I checked out Open Display. I made an account in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I figured out by myself that it was a $500 minimum, because I was like, oh, well, I'll test it out for $100, for a week, why not? No impressions came up, so I was like, okay, $250. I was like, okay, still no impressions, so I put $500. And then it showed me I'd have like 73,000 impressions or something.
Right.
So he's got this algorithm that shows how much you're willing to invest and how many impressions. So yeah, I figured it out in like 5 minutes. Google AdWords, I mean, it's great. I don't really use it. For me, it's way too confusing. You did a great job of just making it simple and easy for anyone to do. And like you said, 3 a.m. in your pajamas, on your bed, whatever.
Do you wear pajamas, Sam?
No. I don't.
Because I wear boxers, so
those
it would have been open in 3 a.m. and your boxers doesn't sound as good as pajamas.
Yeah. Keep it PG rated over here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So, but we had a demo actually of the product, and fantastic. I gotta give you props. I didn't expect to actually do a full. It felt like being in class, We had a full
it was
house.
It was what we call like a lunch and learn.
It was like a lunch and learn. It was a full house. I thought it was great. I thought the interface was super easy to use. I like the map integration, so you could see where your billboard's going to be on display, whether it be like on the highway near Oakland or in San Jose, somewhere in the Amadeo Plaza.
Bay Bridge.
Bay Bridge.
Right.
So fantastic setup. I think it's going to be a very successful product. Do you have? Are you targeting a specific audience, like a small business or enterprise?
That's an excellent question. Yeah, absolutely. We wanted, one of the reasons how this vision came to me was we were inundated with calls from small businesses that had budgets anywhere between $500 and $1,000 to spend, and they wanted to try this out. And there was a common misconception that when someone sees a billboard, they see one of these big electronic displays, they see Warner Brothers, they see Verizon Wireless, they go, well, I can never play in that space. I'm just a small business, right? Well, with AdSemble Open Display, yes, if you're a small business, yes, you can put your message and your brand right alongside Disney, Warner Brothers, McDonald's, Apple Computer, right?
That's great.
So you can log in, upload your message, and for that level of spend and investment, as Sam mentioned, you can have your ad rotating on these sign screens. So it is fully designed for every small business in America. We would like to see them get on Open Display and start to do this process.
So look out for the WhatUp Silicon Valley billboard, right?
Yeah,
is that what?
It's coming.
It's coming. From hypothetically speaking, say you knew someone in the promotional products industry.
Who would that be? I wonder.
Swag Sam.
Yeah. So for us, we're really we're a small business. There's like 6 of us, right? And we've been in business since 1980. We've been a sponsor of the Golden State Warriors in the past, but we don't do heavy, large advertising. So for someone like us, what would you recommend to catch someone's attention as they're driving on the freeway in the quick second and call to action?
The first thing that comes to my mind would be to highlight a promotional product that's the hottest seller of the moment.
Awesome.
And absolutely want to get brand visibility, so your logo prominent either at the top right, bottom right corner, something like that, and then a URL.
Got it.
Something simple. Another mistake that people make when they do billboard ads is they try to cram way too much text into the message that they're putting up there. Keep it simple, silly, right? Everyone knows that
I thought it was keep it simple, stupid.
Well, yeah. Again, PG rated here.
KISS.
Academic, yeah, KISS is right. And again, people are driving by, and if the traffic's not backed up, they might be driving by at 60, 70 miles an hour. You want them to see the logo, the highlighted item, and where they can go find more information about that, right? Because they're going to pull out their phone, they're going to start Googling Value BP or Swag Sam or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then that's where you're connecting the offline world to the online world, and people can find you, and that's how your sales will go up.
Awesome.
And I like the fact that you have whole analytics set up for this.
The reports.
The reports. That's
great.
huge. Everything's analytics these days. Everyone wants to see whether they're getting value. If they're spending money, how they're getting value. you have a whole system in play for that, which is fantastic. It's hard to do for your type of media.
Right.
It's like a magazine ad. You don't know how many people are looking at it, but you have a really accurate way to report that. So
connect the dots, absolutely.
And it's a great report. We saw a demo again this morning, and you did a great job on that. So yeah, if you guys want to give it a shot, where should they go to find your?
So best way to go is just go adsemble.com/open display, all one word.
Okay.
And in fact, I have a special announcement to make. For your listeners only. If they create their account and they log in, and they go to their settings and hit promo code.
Yeah.
If they enter in promo code WhatUpSB in all one word, lowercase WhatUpSB, they will get $150 credit in their account that they can use towards their first campaign.
Nice. Awesome.
WhatUpSB is a promotional code in their account.
Thank you.
Specifically for us. Wow. Thank you.
Good man.
Awesome.
We appreciate that.
So you heard that, right? Get that. Get those billboards up in your pajamas. You had to be in your pajamas though.
Yeah.
Nice.
So great. No, I think it's a really unique product. I gotta ask you though, some of these billboards you see out there, do you have like a unique billboard? Is there something that stood out to you? Was there? I think there was one that was some guy in his underwear.
Right. Well, we had one of the biggest campaigns that's ever happened through our site to date was through a company called Dice.com.
Yes.
They're
a hiring company.
They're a hiring company for tech, tech recruiting, and their idea for a campaign, which came from their ad agency, was the tagline was "Hire the hottest tech talent." And so they featured
love that.
actors that were like these nerd type looking guys in their underwear.
Yeah.
Sprawled out across zebra skins
Nice.
and lion manes and everything
Kind of
else.
a sexy
They
pose.
had like cobra snakes wrapped around them, but these guys have big pot bellies, or they're wearing glasses. So they look very nerd like, but it says "Hire the hottest tech talent." That campaign garnished a ton of buzz in the Bay Area and beyond. Because 95% of the people found it to be very funny and very, entertaining.
Right.
There was a small portion of people that thought it was sexist.
Ah.
So that resulted in some, little bit of chatter around that. You should be portraying, developers and engineers as this type. But most people found it funny, lighthearted. Had a good tone behind it. But yeah, that's a perfect example of somebody taking a chance, taking a risk. They put something out there like that in mass. And it drove, they reported back to us, they had millions of hits to their website.
Oh, I can imagine.
And sign-ups and everything. So, I mean, it
You know
works.
what
The space works.
Like case studies. So for us in ad agencies, creative agencies, either our portfolio case studies, if you had like a blog or a page for inspiration, and then you just put some of your favorite billboards, because one of the first things I thought about was like, okay, so I can design this, but what should I actually design? So if you had like an inspiration page, that would be pretty cool.
I'm getting some ideas from Swag Sam over there.
Yeah,
There you go. From WhatUp Silicon Valley. There you go.
Cool.
Good
So
stuff.
you want to talk about also what's coming up, Sam?
Let's see. So upcoming events, we have the Mini Tech Expo. What is the Mini Tech Expo?
We're doing this at the Continental Restaurant on April 20th on 420. It's at the Continental downtown San Jose. We're teaming up with LucidCam. They do some VR virtual reality software. They'll be on hand. We're going to have Mookie on hand, who they developed this transportational app that kind of ties in Uber, Lyft. It figures out ways to find your best price and fastest response time. Even uses public transportation. So
That will be a fun one. And
fun event.
The next one we have in May after that in Golden State Brewery. We
Yes.
just checked them out yesterday.
Awesome brewery. Lots of good beer, rare beers. I think they have like 16 beers on tap.
Yeah,
So that's in
honey
Santa
ale.
Clara. Yeah, the honey. You like the honey
Yeah,
ale,
the
huh?
honey ale is good. That
So
was
we'll
good.
be there on May 18th, another Thursday. So 2 young professional events we're having. Gotta hope to see you guys all there. We'll probably podcast from one of those events at least. So
We'll see. So anything else you want to add, Matthew, before we close this out?
I do. I have, I love the format of the show. As I said the last time I was on, huge fan of just the variety of stuff you guys talk about, right? And so I know one thing you guys have mentioned from time to time are these kind of like Larry David type
Yes.
moments. You guys are big
Yeah.
fans of the
Awkward
show,
kind of
right?
moments, yeah.
Awkward kind of things
Yeah.
that happen in life. Well, I just so happens that I had one of these types of situations happen to me, and I haven't told you guys about this yet because I wanted to capture your immediate, your improvised kind of feedback.
Go on.
So here's what happened. The other night, I was working late as we get geared up for the launch, and so I ordered some takeout food.
Okay.
From a local restaurant, right?
Yep.
Takeout.
Yep.
So I go in there, it's like I ordered a burger and fries or something like that. So I go in there, I called it in, went in to go pick it up, and I'm like to come right back to the office and keep working. And you go to the takeout station, and the guy gives me the food, okay? It like instantaneously, just sitting right there. So he just turns around, grabs it, and puts it in front of me. Then he gives me the bill, the receipt, and there's a tip line on it. Okay.
Yeah, what do you do in this?
So he's looking at me, he's waiting for me to sign it, you know, and it was like $10, but that tip line's right there.
Yeah.
And then the final line,
at you.
and he's just staring at me.
Oh, geez.
And so I felt compelled to write the tip in.
No, don't tip.
in.
I say don't tip.
So, but I mean, initially I was kind of thinking like, well, what effort did this guy do? You know, this is like a sign off type of moment. Like I phoned it in, I showed up. Yep. He literally just turned around and handed it to me.
Exactly.
Is that tip worthy? I wanted to understand from you guys.
Okay, so here's my argument.
I got Sergio's answer.
I absolutely do not tip. Do not tip. And here's why. I take this personal because for like 7 years when I was in college, I used to work at a futon shop, the futon shop.
This is worth filming right now.
Oh my God, no, listen, this is,
right now.
I had to load up furniture, heavy, 100 pounds, I had to tie it to the roof of a car. In my 7 years of doing that, or like years of doing it, I got one tip. I had to learn how to tie a trucker's knot. I had to do all this work.
How'd you get paid?
I got one tip. This guy just handed him a burger. And he gets a tip for that. Come on.
I gave him a tip.
I'm sweating.
I wrote it was $10 tab. I gave him $2.
And I had to dress casual. Like I never got a tip loading. So my point is, if you ever have somebody load up your furniture, stock boy, load up your furniture.
Give the
kid a tip.
Yeah,
give him a tip. He's young.
But if you phone in food, don't do it.
He's not making a lot of money. Give him a tip.
Yeah. So
make his
Sergio's
day.
the voice for the
I'm gonna start a non-profit for them.
But Sam, what's your answer on this?
So if I went to the burger establishment and I didn't call it in, I would probably do a $1, $2 tip because I want them to make me a good burger. Because I don't want to be awkward enough, then be like, oh, this guy didn't tip me. I want to make sure if I'm getting a burger, whatever the food is, I want it to be good. But in your situation, I would not have tipped because at that point, there's no incentive for them. You know, I would have called in and if they asked me, do you want to add a tip to it, then I've been like compelled and feel like, oh man, I have to add a tip. But if there's no incentive for them to make it extra good or make sure it's not sloppy, that's just where I'm coming from. I'm looking for more inspiration.
So I like that Sergio is the affirmative answer and Sam's the gray answer.
Yeah,
it's like but I did tip. The guy was giving me he was giving me a death stare the entire time I was signing it.
So
super
was
awkward.
it worth the $2 tip?
It was a good burger. You know, I won't name the establishment, but
you got a story out of it.
I got a story. I had a Larry David moment, but now I have some clarity on how I should handle that situation next time. So thank you.
Yeah, just
we had a
remember to
burrito
take your
situation very similar yesterday, and I think I did tip. It ended up being terrible. So
I mean, it's these receipt companies. They add these tip lines for situations where they should not be giving a tip.
It's ridiculous.
But you know, there has been a couple times when I did want to give a tip, and there was no tip line. So that's something too, which is very rare. Because you know, if someone deserves a tip, you deserve a tip. You guys have probably seen Reservoir Dogs, right?
Yep.
You know, like the beginning of Reservoir Dogs, they're saying at the diner. There's I don't remember his color, but Steve Buscemi, he's the actor, probably Italian, right? But
wasn't he Mr. Pink?
Mr. Pink.
Mr. Pink. He does not tip. He's pretty much Sergio, right? Does not tip.
Nope. All right, so
Thank you
it for this week. Can we get a what up?
What up?
What up?
Thanks. So follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, pretty much any podcast player. And thank you for the reviews. Matthew, you gave us a great review. We're up to 24 reviews, so if you guys have a chance, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you for listening.
And look out for our billboard on Almaden Plaza, the What Up Silicon Valley billboard.
Yeah.
What up?
Powered by AdSemble's.
What up?
What up?
Nice. Cool.
All right.
Thanks, audience.
Thanks, audience.